7 hours of just really good talk. You know what I mean? And then you'll get like a streak of like 4 hours of just like, what the hell's going on? Like, why am I here? You know? So it's just like a mixture. It's first of all, it's impossible to have a room really on strictly like all the high level stuff for 10 hours. There's just no way you can do it really. You know what I mean? Without something happening. So the fact that we're even squeezing out 5 to 6 to 7 hours is like a miracle, to be honest. So
yeah, and I gotta say, aside from maybe Sig, who's a better or fairer moderator than us? Like if you go to other rooms, sure. It's just constant. Like you can't even dissent.
To be fair, I was a pretty tolerant mod.
Keep it cool with Matt Cool.
I
was trying to go after Joe. Can I get in here?
That actually made people want to go to your room. The more people got offended, so I welcomed it.
I haven't heard anyone try to deplatform JJ to mute him, move him down, remove him from the room. I haven't heard anyone advocate for JJ to be deplatformed like he often advocates for some of us.
What? Joe moved me down.
JJ, brought it up to you because in your rooms, you were such a dick to me. You remember
that was years ago.
Yeah, okay, but I brushed it. No, it wasn't years, months ago. But
no, it wasn't years ago. I just joined back on Clubhouse. I'm telling you, Pepe, I just rejoined Clubhouse. Literally a month, like it's been actually less than a month since I rejoined. The
it wasn't recently.
Was years ago.
But you were.
No, it was years ago.
These left wing rooms, you know.
But the key word there, Pepe, is were. Right. When I come in here, I'm very, very mindful. First of all, a lot has changed in the past few years, and I'm very mindful because my positions have even changed. And
last week.
It's no, this is not last week. Listen, first of all, Pepe, you know I fuck with you, but you say some wild stuff.
No, I'm offensive. Look, any God-fearing person that even as a Christian conservative probably thinks like, wow, that's shit. That's fine. I take it, take it on the chin. That's how they feel. People on the left will think the same thing. That's fine. I'm not going to.
You can be you. I'm just saying, like, if you want to dish it, you got to take it. That's all I'm saying. I'm pretty fair like that. Like Joe comes at me, I come at Joe. Like, let's just not be snowflake.
TDS patients that come up here. I have my Ben down there in the audience. He's a standard regular. He gets room to be a TDS patient on my stage, so we're good there. You know what I mean? Like we have one. JJ does fine. He does his show. It's for the most part, it's respectful. Like
Matt, may I have the stage, please? I want to clear up some misinformation.
I think it's just over the green bean, to be honest.
Well, there's a lot of that going on too, and then there's like I said, you guys got to keep in mind what I said. Everybody gets to speak, so you'll get like this particular person's gonna piss somebody off. Watch this. They get to speak, and then like we get to determine what we do with them. Like we kind of know what's gonna happen, but they get a chance to say,
Matt, and I'll go right to Dr. Adams. Look, but Matt, that's why I had to break that up. I mean, I was in here for 20 minutes, and all I heard was Pepe and JJ going back and forth, on and on and on and on. And no one was taking a breath. No one was giving an opportunity for everyone to speak like you have. So I shook it up, and guess what? We've passed the mic around, and I'll pass it over to Dr. Adams.
But by the way, Joe, real quick, Alex. The reason was because I wanted to jump in and ask two different topics on something on that particular issue that was being talked to. That didn't happen, so that's why it kind of dropped. It just keeps going.
What is it? What is it? The topic you wanted to discuss?
Now I forgot. That's the problem. That you talk about when people interrupt you, Pepe, it kind of throws you off. Like when you go on very long monologues, it throws off everything I want to ask. You know what I mean? Does that make sense or no?
No, you have a nigger brain. It's not my fault.
I have a what?
Nigger brain.
I have a wigger brain. Okay, there we go. Okay, Adams, go ahead.
Nigger. So, I just want to clear up a point of misinformation, and I'm actually going to side with Pepe on this, and then I'm going to shut up and go back down to the audience. But JJ, when you were on this app several years ago, you were very nasty to Pepe. You were very nasty to a lot of people. So I think that Pepe definitely recalls how you were. You know, a little bit differently as to the reason why you've left the app all of this time. So I hope that this time around, you know, your priorities, you got your shit together, and you're not going to be asking your friends around you for money when you refuse to handle your priorities as a grown-ass man, having so much to say about everything else that's being discussed.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody asked you for no fucking money, bitch. You came on here to like what? I don't know why you feel the need to talk to me. I have not addressed you. I don't care to address you. You're not interesting nor attractive to me in any sort of way. So I find it really funny that we're literally having a whole thing about here, about not censoring me, and then I have to address this bullshit because you decided to take your little happy gay ass on stage just to go and address JJ about shit from fucking years ago that is not even factually correct. So with that being said, I don't give a fuck about the fucking lies that you just spoke about. It's not interesting.
Oh, you weren't being evicted, JJ? You weren't being evicted?
No,
you weren't being evicted, JJ?
No, bitch.
Oh, really?
And then if I talk about you and the shit that I know about you flying here because of your fucking mother, it'll be a problem.
Oh, really? Yeah, mothers are supposed to die at old age. Grown-ass men are supposed to be getting evicted when they're on the internet.
Go cry.
Oh, really? I think you should go handle yourself as a man before you come on the app and talk to anybody. Talk about anybody and what their political opinions should be.
Do you or do you not wear
You are a welfare rat. You're an irresponsible adult, and you don't know shit about anything that you're talking about. You don't know shit about anything that you're talking about. You're a failed man and an irresponsible adult. You can't even pay your bills. You can't even pay your bills.
Probably why you're a Trump supporter, but you haven't even earned $1 in your entire life. You're a fucking joke. You should probably run for president, though. That's what Trump did. Right. Anyway, back.
Good? Are we good?
Yeah, I'm done with that hoe.
We're good. My rent's paid.
Right. So is mine, bitch.
All right. I have to
pay the casket rent for your mom.
I did gladly, and guess what? Good. I didn't get evicted like the grown-ass man that you
neither did I.
Getting evicted. Getting evicted. Getting evicted. Have so much to say on Clubhouse and getting evicted.
We're in 2026.
Damn, this is ghetto, y'all. This is very ghetto. This is very, very, very ghetto. Y'all got the whole EBT office up on stage. Y'all got the whole EBT office up on stage.
How do you spell ghetto?
How do you spell what? Unlawful detainer? Ghetto. Eviction? Which one you want to choose?
Why don't you just go and snort?
Why don't you go and pay your rent? Why don't you get off the internet?
Yes, Timothy.
All right, I've heard enough.
Thank you.
I will allow one lucky person to open up a topic. But it's nothing to do.
Hello, Matt.
Oh, Edward, how you doing?
It's the best of my life. Thanks for asking. Sure. Hello, Beaver. Hello, Timothy, Miss Joe, and
I'm Cheddar.
The topic. You said Jubilee. Could you believe that this individual today decided 101 times to say I plead the fifth? Kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was
insane.
When they do it once, they have to do it for everything, don't they?
Yes, gross. And when
I think a good topic would be
the victims in there, then you wouldn't even look.
I think a good topic would be whether or not do you guys think Dr. Anthony Fauci is he guilty of something that, I mean, should he be held accountable for anything?
Well, Patty says no in her room, and she can't believe people would think otherwise. And I was going to ask that same question, Pepe.
I mean, why would Biden have pardoned him before?
Yeah, I don't know that he did anything wrong. That's the part.
I'll let Joe take this one, but there's
well,
proof.
Pepe,
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it, but I didn't see this smoking gun. He's somebody who had contradictions in his fucking diary, and he And were there strategies that were obviously that were taking place where it's like, oh, you guys don't need PPE, it's not an airborne virus, yada yada yada, because they wanted to basically hoard all of this shit for the healthcare workers. There's a lot of things he did. Did he maybe he's like a person who's just like he's obviously not a nobody. He is a smart man who had a very high level position that was all of a sudden put in the spotlight, and he was kind of like camera struck, sure. But I don't know that what did he do that was nefarious?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Pepe, just a couple things, okay? The first one is that the mask mandate to wear a mask was recommended by Dr. Fauci. No scientific proof that it works. The 6-foot rule introduced by Dr. Fauci, no scientific rule. Closing down all industry, people lost businesses, people could not be with their family. You guys, I listen, if we're gonna go with what we call experts, but yet they have no definition of what science is, it's kind of crazy, right? And then you said there's no smoking gun. They clearly said, and a lot of his doctors broke away from him, they clearly said this was a lab leak. But if you go back...
Yeah, that's the one where I'll agree, sure.
Yeah, okay. So go back, Pepe, look at all of the doctors that came out and said they knew this was a lab leak, and they were ostracized. They were critical. A lot of them even lost their jobs, okay? So there's a lot of things that this particular individual who was on the team at the time introduced to America. A lot of sad things. Our kids not going to school. We lost a whole generation of people of learning, man. There's a lot that came out of this guy's decisions. Mm-hmm. So yes, there's a whole lot of things he should be held accountable for.
I agree with you to an extent. I do believe that, first of all, it's just, I don't know how they came up with the distancing. Was that a nefarious thing? I don't know that you can prove that. When it comes to the masks, sure, they're not the N95s. Now, they're encouraging people to wear masks. And you have to understand, the first several months of the pandemic, they were misleading people because they did not want them to have the N95s and the masks that basically healthcare workers had to rely on. And so, okay.
He funded the gain of
yes, I'm aware.
Research. Okay.
Yes.
In the Wuhan lab.
Sure.
And then in his journal, he states the side effects that he had from getting the vaccine, and he, in public to us, he told all Americans that there are no side effects. And he himself had side effects, and I think it was like a severe stroke or something like that he had.
Sure. So once again, I'll get all of that. Okay, at the end of the day, we can say that he ended up railroading certain doctors that wanted to tell the truth. But if we look at the different recommendations when it came to the shutdowns, I would say that highly was that was basically controlled by the state health departments, where they were basically saying like, hey, look, like in Arizona, we were rather lax, but then we were the epicenter in the whole world, at 2 different times. And then it strained the healthcare system enough to where they were like, okay, we have to basically have these harsh restrictions. It wasn't, I don't look at it as nefarious. We had a Republican governor at the time. It was basically just to make sure that our healthcare system can deal with the people that get sick.
He was able to get.
It changes. It was so different depending on where you were.
Oh my gosh! The first thing that they said was, if you get the vaccine, you will not get COVID. Knowing that they didn't know that for sure, right?
I mean, I saw that.
Right. That was the first one. Right, and then how many jabs were there?
there was a bunch
How many
of
boosters
boosters.
were there?
Yeah, there's a bunch. So
Right. And then denying the people that did have side effects and saying that it wasn't from COVID, knowing when he himself had that, and funding this research just to better himself, like this selfishness, because he wanted to go down as like a mad scientist in history.
Do you think that's why he did it, or I personally doubt that he did it personally because he wanted to be a hero. I think he was literally being pressured by the Biden administration to encourage it. And I don't know that it was all nefarious. Once again, all vaccines have side effects. That's a fact. Not most vaccines are extremely safe, and they have, like when it comes to polio, mumps, measles, all of that shit, rubella. Those vaccines are highly effective, and they obviously save far more lives than if the whole population was not to get vaccinated and be inoculated from these viruses. So,
Right, but this wasn't a vaccine. Sorry.
Yeah, this didn't meet the threshold of polio and all the other shit.
No, I agree.
And it was
100%.
untested.
Do I think he was delivering a message in order to, basically, with the shroud of like, oh look, this is a non-biased medical, from a non-biased medical standpoint, that you need to get the vaccine. Look, I know conservatives personally, and at this time, not one time, but personally, that they were saying like, look, dude, I mean, yeah, the overall it appears to be better, and even after the original vaccination of most Americans, you did see it. You did see a drop off of severe illness that was basically occupying their or overtaking their ICUs and so forth. Now, does that mean necessarily that there aren't going to be long-term side effects? Sure. Did it introduce side effects that like, especially in young men, break into cardiovascular issues that they were likely not to have had? Yes, that did happen. But it was just from an overall public health viewpoint.
How many people got cancer, including my father, after getting this vaccine? And how many died from it?
I don't.
Right,
I haven't heard of a causal relationship between the vaccine and cancer.
And there's other scientists that have done research on this, and I can send you the link. It's very, very.
Well, 10 out of 12 said it came from of the scientists said there's no way it came from a wet market, right? And then they didn't share that. They still pressed that narrative that there was no.
And you don't think that was political in nature? And
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And Fauci, but here's the thing: is I understand it is easy for the right and the left to blame Fauci for it.
His name is pronounced Fauci. Fauci. Get it right, PP. Fauci.
But why is it that neither side called out the gain of research function, the tests that were basically happening at that facility? Why did both the Republicans and the Democrats deny this?
Moderators, please put me in the queue. I hear you guys like passing the mic around. I hear you like passing the mic around. I'm just asking to be put in the queue after Little Peepee's completed.
When it comes to
Projection mirror says what?
not up. When it comes to the initial what was it?
You didn't know Adams was gay.
6, 7 months.
He was married to a white man. They recently got divorced.
When all of this stuff was basically being, this was being discussed about, that Fauci was talking about, why is it that Trump didn't say anything about it? Why did he go with it? In fact, why did Trump tout Operation Warp Speed? And if any of you remember and were really paying attention at the time, it was the left who were saying, well, if Trump gets these vaccines, this quickly, I don't think I'm going to take them. I don't think I can trust this. Yada, yada, yada. The left were originally, like the anti-vaccine people. You did see you did see Fauci kind of like siding with the liberals, I would say, a bit. But it's of course, what did the liberals want at the time? They wanted the shutdown of the fucking economy. What did Trump do in his first presidency? That he made the economy fucking great. That's the one thing that he fucking did. Nobody can deny that. They wanted it to shut down. And then they wanted to see a body count. They wanted to blame every goddamn dead person on him.
Rand Paul began calling out Dr. Fauci about gain of function research May 11th, 2021, Senate hearing. That was the first time that he brought it up and started trying to pin it on Fauci. And I would have to suspect the reason why we didn't hear about it in 2020 is because of the lies that Fauci was perpetuating over that year prior.
But why couldn't he have? I don't get it. Is like Trump inept? Why can he not? Why could he not see what had happened and see what it had been said and go against that narrative?
Because he's just a man. He's not perfect. You make mistakes. Fauci should have been fired day number one. That little fucking rat never should have been there to begin with. Trump should have said you're fired. Trump should have said you're fired to 100 people, to 1,000 people, to 10,000 people, to 500,000 fucking people. You're going to sit here with your Trump derangement syndrome and blame it on Trump? Dr. Fauci is an evil cocksucker, a designated malignant narcissist. His diary has been exposed. Millions of people have been killed. Pfizer, Moderna, J&J poisoned America with a carcinogenic clot shot. The country spent trillions of dollars on a scam and a lie. Hundreds of thousands of Americans committed fraud with the PPP loans, the $1 trillion triple P. You are fucking retarded. Go look in a mirror, little peepee. COVID-19 was the biggest scam in human history. I know you've took the vax 2 times, your triple boost. You got buyer's remorse, little peepee. You got buyer's remorse if you got the vax. It's not breakfast food. It's not a chicken salad. It's a clot shot and a carcinogenic injection for no fucking reason. And as you heard from Edward, countless people were terminated from their jobs at hospitals because they wouldn't take it. Soldiers, our patriotic, hardworking soldiers, terminated because they wouldn't take a clot shot. Your little friend here, John Kitover, wouldn't take the clot shot at the IRS. I said, nah, I'm going to write a religious exemption letter. The experience was horrific, torture. They murdered us. It was a global mass explosion of terrorism, lies and propaganda. And little Pee-Pee here, the know-it-all lecturer who does his history hypnosis every night of the week here in Matt Cool's room, is getting roasted. If you guys don't like faggot
Okay, I didn't want him to go down, Matt, but I understand. Some of the things that he said is correct, guys, and it's okay, but I just have a difficulty. I didn't take the shot, okay? I would not take it anyway because I don't believe that any warp speed or anything like that is really bad. I think it's very sad that we were duped by the leadership, okay, of America. And we did have a difficulty. And unfortunately, and I don't know why people keep trying to blame everything on Trump himself. Guys, the layers of departments and everything else, and this is exactly what Fauci was. Fauci's been working for the United States government for over 40 years. He was the highest paid public servant for many years, over $400,000, between $380,000 to $400,000 as a scientist. Okay, we were relying on these experts, and no matter what president would have been, they could still have to rely on the experts. So we can throw blame everywhere and say it's a Trump administration, or We could say it's other countries. We could say it's the CDC. At the end of the day, it's very unfortunate that we had a man named Mr. Fauci decided to do gain of function. And for me, I come to the conclusion that there was a lab leak, got out of control. They didn't tell us what was going on. And this is the sad part. And now we just have to live with all the 500,000 Americans that died and around the world. People, it's just sad. And that's where I land. So I'm not going to yell at anybody. And, you know, everybody has a choice, okay? And some people choose because they want to keep their job. Some people want to see their family. And unfortunately, we lost a lot of Americans.
I want to answer Pepe's question, and then I'll hand the mic to JJ for his dissenting opinion. Pepe, Fauci worked for the government for over 30 years. He was a holdover all the way from the Reagan administration. So, you know, Trump, hindsight, clearly he was a little rat that has profited off of this, and Trump didn't see the play go down. It was clearly a move to dethrone him as president in his first term. All right, JJ, let's have your dissenting opinion in your. You can praise Fauci.
No, I love how you assume what I'm going to do. It's really unnecessary. But thank you for not having this be a boring ass echo chamber where conservatives are just crying about shit. Listen, I first of all foremost, I took the shot. I'm glad that I did. I didn't run to take it. I made an opinion using the knowledge that I had available to me. And what is this? 5 years later? I'm fine. I'm good. Still great. Talking on Clubhouse to you people. So, you know, it's definitely, and I just want to make this clear, you know, because like Andy said, you was somebody, someone that contracted, you know, a disease, you believe because of this, you know, I definitely have a lot of empathy for people who believe, because I do believe that it's a belief that people were harmed, you know, because of their COVID shots. I don't believe that. I have not been harmed. I don't know anybody who has been harmed. My whole family has gotten the shots. The president said that his family has gotten the shots. So, you know, I think that it's okay to, you know, have your opinions about this thing. I think, you know, to be honest with you, I wish that we would have done what they said to do in the beginning, way before any shots even came out. Social distance. Stay your ass in a place away from people and not be clustered all up together. But, everybody's, you know, I want to live my life. I have a right. You can't tell me I'm an American. I have a right to do this, that, and get other people sick. So, yeah, we had to have the vaccine. It enabled us to, you know, to resume normal function of life. And for those people who, you know, who had their jobs affected, I'm sorry, for me, I don't want to work around anyone, you know, who is potentially affecting me and my life. And the science showed otherwise. As far as Fauci particularly, I think that, you know, I don't think the best person to deal with this, but remember, Trump hired him, right? So let's not overlook that part. You want to blame somebody, blame the captain of the ship.
Can you
Don't
repeat
blame
that
the fucking
part?
lieutenant.
Can you
Trump
repeat
hired
what
him.
you said?
Trump hired
No,
Fauci.
the
So
part
let's
about
not-
you didn't want to work with who?
I didn't want to work with people who are not going to get vaccinated.
Look, why does that matter if you get vaccinated?
Because the whole point that I feel like people, and I do believe that there was a lot of conflicting narratives around this. Maybe whoever's to blame for that, you can blame whoever. I blame Trump actually. But the point of the vaccines were that they were supposed to create herd immunity.
Exactly.
They were not going to, right?
Yeah,
so they were not going to, they were not a cure. It wasn't a cure, and it wasn't something that was going to prevent you from getting COVID. That was a major failure of communication about that. Maybe some deception there, because that's really in general not what vaccines do. They're supposed to, you know, give you increased resilience, so that if you do get it, that you're not dead in the morgue.
Right, so get the vaccine. If you want the vaccine, get it and then go work. And if you don't want the vaccine, go to work. And if the vaccine isn't good enough for you and you still don't want to work around those people, then stay home. Why should they have to acquiesce to you?
Because you know what? A lot of people go to and I know this to be true, right? Beyond COVID, right? Just beyond COVID, a lot of people, because of the fucking capitalist, call me a communist, I don't care. The fucking capitalist system that we live in and inflated prices and everything, people go to work sick all the time on a regular basis. I've witnessed people going to work coughing, even in places where it's definitely problematic, like around food, so people go to work sick. So it's not like I just go to work or whatever. People could go to work. They could even be sick and having symptoms, and they would still go to work because they're like, I got to make my money. I don't care about anybody else. And they would just infect everybody. So that's the reason why, it would still be a problem, especially if you know anything about how vaccines work. It takes a level of time. So if I just get the vaccine yesterday and then you're sick and you got COVID yesterday, it's not really going to really protect me that way. That's why.
That's too bad for you, though, because
it's too bad for you.
The death rate of this was so small that
I don't want to get sick and have to get close to death.
But too bad.
Get fired.
Unless you're fat or old,
the reality,
then you shouldn't take the vaccine. Otherwise, just if you don't want to get sick, then stay home.
Get another job.
Yeah, but the mortality rate,
the public to do this, it wasn't high enough.
But the mortality rate was high. Was a lot higher than like a very bad flu season.
No, but it wasn't high enough to mandate it or to
coerce it.
But that's a value. But that's a value judgment, and so you can say that it wasn't. Okay, sure, and I'm one of those people. This is where the conservatives and I are gonna butt heads. I would literally put a bunch of, when it comes to us trying to control a pandemic, and we know our hospital space is limited, I would at gunpoint make you faggots get fucking vaccinated. Like that's just me.
That's ridiculous. You don't really believe that, do you?
Yeah, I would, totally.
What? Wait, say it again. I want to make sure I understand.
So look. I would literally send people that are under the threat of being fucking arrested, and basically, you could say that this is tyranny, and that's fine. But I would make people just go ahead and get the fucking vaccine.
Over what death rate, though? Are you talking about 1%, 2%, or like 10 or 20? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, even when it came to the COVID pandemic, can you even prove that the shots have been more? They have caused more harm, because I know you can't. They've not caused more harm, and they've not caused more. They've not caused more harm. Oh, hold on. Let me finish this one point. Hold on. You didn't let me finish this point. They have not caused more. They never caused more harm, or serious adverse effects than COVID did. That is a fact. That is. But we're looking at correlative data.
But that's irrelevant, though, because at the time we didn't know. We still don't know for real. But at the time, if you don't know, how are you going to coerce your populace to take a shot that they don't know about, that they're unsure of, and they don't really need?
Exactly.
Okay, that was that's the one thing that sucks about democracy, is that retards and laymen feel like they can make the best decisions. But the reality is, though, is that no, experts make the best decisions generally.
We've seen that to be false many times.
No, it's not. It's actually not false. Like, the people that, whether it's running our electrical grid, whether it's running fucking healthcare systems, whether it's running anything, people that are specialists in when I say specialists, but also experts in any given field, know infinitely more than any of us.
Okay, in fact,
when it comes to what we should do.
Way, like greed gets in the way, and other political things get in the way.
Yeah, in fact,
so that's why you should be. It's up to you at the end of the day to take the shot. If you're fat,
it doesn't. No,
take the shot.
Okay, but and you said that's because you're wrong. You're proving because your point is because they're wrong. because you think there might be a bias, therefore they're wrong and not the best people to listen to.
He's the first thing he said is if you get this vaccine, which it is not a vaccine, if you get the vaccine, you will not get COVID. He was wrong from the gate.
Yeah, and I got to clear up some more stuff here. They completely lied about the death rate. Fauci was going on television saying it was 1% to 3% death rate. Now that would be absolutely horrible. We're looking at tens of millions of people dying. In his own diary, he said their death rate, when at the same time he was going out doing the Sunday shows, lying about 1 to 3%, he said they knew it was 0.02%. And when we reflect on how many actually died during COVID, and this is the numbers which clearly they were attributing deaths when you died with COVID in a car accident and stuff like that, it was 0.002% is the real figure. And look, I have to clear one thing up. I guess JJ left, but if you don't believe us about people getting injured from the vaccine, believe Dr. Fauci in his own diary. He wrote about how he got blood clots after he took the vaccine, and he didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah, but okay, this is where it gets kind of interesting, though. So if you're somebody who got COVID, increased risk of blood clots, that has been shown. He's somebody who took the vaccine. Okay, he got a blood clot. Right? All right. Now, can you show that there's a higher? Is there a higher correlation with getting COVID and getting blood clots versus
this boy's a true believer?
It's not only about the blood clots; it's also about pericarditis, myocarditis, a lot of blood circulation issues, and you don't have data long term. So that's the problem. It's like you're trying to measure something, but you don't have the data. So it's like a Russian roulette. And for you to say you would force, people to take something that is basically a Russian roulette, you understand what you're saying? I've heard you many times, but on this one, I think you're very wrong.
Oh, sure. I am somebody who. This is where, like I said, I'm on the right. I don't consider myself a conservative, but if it was in the public's best interest, I would, I would mandate it harshly.
But are you trolling right now about this one? Like, because it's like 1% death rate, if that.
No, I'm actually not. I'm being dead serious.
I think you still have to be
5 times less than that is what they had in their own writings, and it's 100 times less than 1% death rate. Beaver, the real.
For me to be on board with going door to door and mandating it, it would have to be like a 20% or 15% death rate that would totally suck up our civilization. And so in the best interest, it would be for humanity to get the vaccine. Other than that,
5% is way too high. I mean, what the fuck?
No, like we don't know about this vaccine though. What if 10 years down the line, 20 years?
Beaver, that's like out of 20 people that you know, every 20 people you know, one person dies. Think about it.
Yeah, so if you want it, get it.
Yeah, but 5% is a at least in modern history is an that is we have not seen a level of like goddamn. I mean, you can look at the plague. We can go back to certain eras hundreds of years ago where it was a lot worse than that, but we do not. I can't think of any illness in the last few hundred years that killed off 5% of the fucking population, or I'd say like at least the last 100. And I want to really be specific about timelines. Before penicillin and antibiotics, people died of everyday infections. It didn't matter if you were the president. I forget the president whose son died of a toe infection. There's nothing you could do.
But this is irrelevant to this case because this is gene therapy. This is a whole different can of worms. Okay, this is a whole different thing. It's like beside the logical fallacy that you're describing, though, trying
what was the
to
logical
force something
fallacy?
to
What was the
population,
logical
but-
fallacy? Explain the logical
because,
fallacy.
yeah. I can tell you what, because you for
Pepe
you,
would hold a
the
gun to
given
your head to
fact
make you
is that
take an
this thing actually
experiment
works,
and
but it
fucking
doesn't.
low
So
IQ boxer.
you're
I
saying-
did
you're
no,
saying,
I didn't.
I'm thinking-
You said it doesn't work. No, first of all, you committed a logical fallacy by basically trying to rebuttal what I was saying by saying that this, by making a positive claim that this, by saying I said this actually works. Okay, when it says this works, when you say this works, by which means does that this work?
Look, maybe I misunderstood you, but I thought that you want to mandate this because supposedly this thing works, meaning that you're trying to mandate something because you want to make the population safe, right? But that's the problem is that first of all, this is not true. Unfortunately, I'm not attacking you.
Can you prove it's not? Can you prove it's not true?
I can prove that this didn't work. Absolutely, because people who took this, even 1, 2, 3, 4 shots,
Get angry
still
over
got
tard
COVID.
combos is tarded.
So
You just
Okay. I understand the original sin was that he was saying you would not get COVID, but when it comes to inoculation to getting the to COVID, which would basically when it comes to the most severe symptoms you would get, I would say that it did its job there.
Look,
Bobby, did you hear about the turbo cancer?
No, but let's not even go there. Like for people who know what's in this stuff, that people look. I've researched this extensively. I think you're talking to people here, but maybe I'm wrong, huh? But know what supposedly what's inside, and what's specifically what's not inside. Okay, of the thing, because a lot of things were patented and were hidden. So if you're mandating me to take something and most of the ingredients are patented or hidden and I don't know what the fuck is in the thing, I'm sorry, not. I mean, you can't logically mandate something where and you're not saying to people what you're injecting them with.
But that's what we've been doing for decades. We've literally been injecting people with no, it's absolutely true. If you want to if your child wants to go to school, you would have to they would have to get a bunch of immunizations when it comes to even like I remember I was in college and they're like we don't have your records of your immunization, so we're just going to give a bunch of them to you. That's just to live in the dorms and go to school at the University of Arizona. And so I took them. That's fine. But when it comes to rubella, mumps, all of this shit, tetanus, things that were like polio, all of this shit that was like rather widespread, vaccinations absolutely solved this fucking problem for the most part.
This wasn't a vaccine. People that got the jab got COVID. When you got the chickenpox vaccine, did you ever get chickenpox? Did you ever get the measles vaccine and get the measles? No, you didn't. This was not a vaccine.
And here's the thing: is in this case, you got an inactive protein or let's say a portion of the virus, an inactive portion of the virus, and you know what's inside. You know what is, but in this case, you're forcing your body to produce a spike protein, which is absolutely toxic. So supposedly your body fights it off. It's a whole different mechanism, and you don't know. But basically, you rewire your genetic structure, and it's a problem. It's a gigantic, enormous problem. It's something you're changing your genetic code, Pepe. This is a different thing. It's a different ballgame. I understand. In your mind, you're picturing this like a protein vaccine, but it's not. Okay? They so even to allow people to think like you're thinking, they changed the definition of a vaccine. They had to include also the gene therapies, but this is not a classical, let's say a vaccine or how it was defined. If you have to change the fucking definition of a word, do you understand that the problematic thing here or not? Maybe you don't, but
Yeah, but most of the technologies that were involved in making this vaccine have existed for a couple of decades.
Not for why didn't they just use
I don't care. I'm on the right,
the standard?
but I'm not
I
conservative.
think the
and I would
argument's the speed of production. mRNA vaccines are faster to produce, but I think there would have been better compliance if they just used the existing tried and true vaccine technology.
There was no time for that though. People were.
Excuse me, I just want to quote Pepe. I just want to quote Pepe real quick when he said, "I don't care, I'm on the right, but I'm not conservative, and I would imprison or shoot you if you don't take an experimental vaccine." That's what Pepe said earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Pepe is Adolf Hitler and Mussolini in the body of a midget Corsican who says,
Whatever, that's weird. Anyway, there was no time for that. Y'all remember how angry people were?
Weird!
Especially because we've gotten to this really politicized place, especially and divisive place, especially with Trump coming in office. People were like, "Oh, you're closing down my stuff. Oh, my business is gonna, close. Oh my God!" So they were looking for a solution, and obviously it was the new virus. There was a lot going on. Listen, you have a brand new virus. People in a whole outbreak. Remember, this is not an American issue. This is a worldwide issue. There were a lot of countries that, in retrospect, looking through that lens, could have done things differently. But, it was what it was. I think that having a vaccine is better than not having a vaccine, even an imperfect vaccine. So I will take that over literally just people, because remember, we had time before the vaccine where people were literally dying on a regular basis. And I don't believe that somebody had, Joe had basically said they were lying about the numbers. I don't care. If there's more than one person dying, that's too much for me.
Put some tussin
on it. And if the vaccine can help,
put a little tussin on it.
Well, yeah. If one person is, and maybe this is just JJ, but there were several people who were dying. And I know people personally who got it, who got very, very sick. It was a very, very scary thing. So
it was very
having something that may be imperfect is better than not having anything at all. And obviously allowing this virus to mutate, to cross the spread and get worse and worse and worse. Not everybody is built for that. And then this villainizing people who, well, maybe if you were in a certain kind of shape, like, fuck off with all of that. That is crazy. You're gonna tell that to like newborn children, elderly people in senior homes, all of that. Like that's absolutely insane. It could have been handled better, but you need a vaccine.
Jay, look, the problem is that the problem is the mandating of it's mandating this thing, because to me you can't have the possibility to have this concoction, but the problem is forcing people. JJ, look, if you want to shoot heroin or to do crack with it, for me, it's absolutely fine. I'm a libertarian 1,000%. Absolutely. And that's the problem also, because the problem is it's mandating the thing,
How did they force you, though? Did anybody come and stick it in your arm?
The bigger question, hold on. So he has said he didn't believe in this current vaccine, but when it comes to rubella, whooping cough, all of this shit, tetanus. We get shots, we don't get this. We smallpox, all of that crap. Now, do you think that a citizen should be able to refuse to have their child to get those shots that we've had literally, about 80 years of experience with?
Well, we have 80 years of long-term data on those.
But no, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking him.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they should. Parents should be able to deny it. I'm sorry. I know that there's a cost to that, but parents should be able to choose.
They should. And if the state tells you, you know what, you can make that choice, but then, you have certain limitations and restrictions. Yet nobody came to, I would be totally with y'all who, if they were literally, kind of like how Trump is doing with these ICE agents, people coming around and, in hoods and vans, ramming people and pulling out their needles and sticking them in people's arms and holding them down. That would be one thing, but that never happened. They told you, listen, this is the information that we have. This is the vaccine that we have available. Everybody's pushing for things to be open because y'all were so mad at the shutdowns. Oh, everybody, this is not good. This is not my mental health, all of that. Okay, so fine. They came up with the vaccine, and now you're upset because they came up with this thing. They have a possible solution, even though it might not be the best solution, but it was helping at least someone.
But hold on, to the libertarian guy, you said you want them to choose, but we literally got rid of these diseases on our soil because of the inoculation achieved by immunizations. And I would say yes, I'm 100%, because polio is not a thing that is, basically crippling kids anymore. We don't have all of these fucking diseases we used to have.
Can we get an expert?
You think you can be okay enough to make your own fucking viewpoints and as enlightened and as educated as you want, but I would force your child to get measles, rubella, chicken pox, all of that shit. Yeah, you have to absolutely get the goddamn immunization.
What about our liberty?
You wouldn't be alive anymore if you tried to force that on my child.
So
you have the liberty.
Hold on, JJ. I need to clear some stuff up. They were forcing, especially students, to return. State of California required all students to have to get vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. Many universities, if you were to attend. Now, university is a choice. However, by law, children have to go to school. So on one hand, they were mandating kids having to go to school, and on the other, they were having to take the vaccine as well. And here's the issue that the vaccine was causing is they had 20 years of the patent of how the delivery system would work. However, it had never been used before. In the trials that they were supposed to do on them, they weren't reported clearly. And it does appear that they knew there were problems with the vaccines and they still rolled them out, even after they knew there were issues with them, significant issues, higher issues than the percentage of death from COVID. And that is where the problem is. How did Trump frame it? When the solution is worse than the problem at hand.
Well, Trump was telling people to inject themselves with bleach. Some of y'all could have did that.
Ever said that? Why do we still repeat this?
He did. But
no, he didn't.
He did not mention bleach, so people just came up with that. Beaver, you want me to go find the quote?
Did Trump say, hello, everybody, please inject yourself with bleach?
He didn't say it like that, but we understand what connotations, inferences.
No, he did say that pregnant women shouldn't take Tylenol. And then we saw that all the pregnant women, it went viral of them like downing the bottles of Tylenol.
But the thing I really want to address this thing that Joe said. Because that's a manipulative take. Education is mandatory for children. Going to school in a public school or a private school, having to go to a physical location of school is not mandatory. You always have the option to homeschool your kids. Now, that may be inconvenient for some people, but you know what's also inconvenient? You bring in your infected, kid to the school and getting other people's kids infected.
Hello?
It's coercive, though. I mean, you have to.
Well, it's supposed to be.
But it wasn't warranted, though. The death
that's an opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
And that's fine. I respect that, and I respectfully disagree.
JJ, look, I'm sorry. JJ, I'm sorry. I'm Italian. People could not work here if they didn't have a vaccine or a COVID, quote unquote COVID test. All right. So this is with that's another, how to say it. It's a logical fallacy again. It's like they didn't mandate it. Yeah. No, you did, because otherwise people couldn't work. And so what? Of course you're mandating it. What is this trickery? It's like, of course you're mandating it. If people could not work without it, so they did.
Knew that it did not affect children at a significant rate. Fauci even wrote in his diaries they knew that it didn't affect kids, and they were still requiring it to be placed. To act like everyone can just drop everything and become homeschoolers and stuff like that is hubris. To go ahead and act like there isn't laws that are going to mandate that those kids be in school somehow. There are. They have truancy laws throughout the country. So this was the issue at hand. Now I'm not even talking about all the issues with the first responders and things like that they were firing people. You know, I guess a job is your choice, right? However, to sit here and say that children need to be vaccinated, the difference is most of all of us grew up in the 80s and 90s, and we only had the requirement of maybe one handful of vaccines required to go to school. It's now the childhood schedule is like 20 to 25 different vaccines. So what are we trying to stop? I hear Pepe's argument. I've heard it for years and years, and it's always the same stuff. Well, we got rid of these 2 or 3 major problems, right? Polio, right? That always gets cited. However, why then do we have 25, upwards of 25 different types of vaccines for childhood than we did when we were growing up? Well, it's because it's for money, right? It's all about filling the pockets of these vaccine creators that have limited immunity to how we can hold them accountable. Any other job, if I was to serve you something and you were to get sick from, you could sue me. However, these assholes get the benefit of the doubt that they're doing it for the better of humanity. So that means we can't hold them liable if they injure my child.
Well, I get what you're saying. Now, 100. Okay, we are dealing with a health pandemic, which, you know, as we're kind of learning more and more, was a lab leak. It was a type of virus we were not used to. They had to use a delivery model that basically all of this was new.
Right.
And so, yeah, okay, here's the thing, though, is if you're trying to stop a global pandemic, do you not think that you would have to come up with a way that for example, a vaccine could be created while also you kind of have to shield the liability of the people in order for it to be feasible. And
how did they get the vaccine so quick?
They combine technology that already existed, basically, and then
they haven't done that for the flu yet.
Not in a year span. No, they haven't.
In layman's terms, okay, they have a delivery system, and it's a template. That delivery system, what they wanted to be able to do was just slightly change the ingredients of how the delivery system, whatever the delivery system of getting the chemical into your body. So think of it as a car, and they patented a car and to put a passenger in it, and all we have to do is change the passenger out every time. I mean, ideally, it's a clever idea. It just didn't work.
I have a question. So, I mean, now that we've gotten the divisive topics out of our system, can we maybe talk about something that affects all of us Americans, regardless of what we believe? I thought it was very interesting that...
let's stay on the topic. Why are you trying to change it?
Oh, so you don't want to talk about Dr. Fauci getting cussed out?
No, that's what we are talking about.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it kind of cute that Fauci kept a diary?
That is alarming.
Yeah,
it's also hilarious. It's hilarious.
I thought it was like his journal, and I think that that was like required, you know. So like any updates, like his.
But the fact that he put his own personal opinions that would contradict what he was saying to the public is so fucking asinine. It's
unbelievable.
When you look at why did Biden or whoever was handling him give him a pardon stretching from I believe it was 2014 until he left office, it was probably because they knew there was obviously shit that was going on with him. that he could be prosecuted for. But it was, I would say, when I looked at him today, I felt sad for him. Like literally the feeling I felt for him. I saw him trying to invoke his Fifth Amendment. He did not look like the person that was rather charismatic in the past, years ago. He was somebody who looked like a deer in headlights, and he was just answering the same way over and over and over again.
He looked like he was freshly tanned that just got off a Clinton private PJ from Epstein Island. That man is a filthy, disgusting pervert. They should have locked him away right there in front of the Senate. They should have locked him away and dragged him out, old or not. Okay, it would be a plus if they dragged him out and he broke a hip. Okay, I'm tired of this man. I'm tired of the whole celebrity worship culture. He went in there like full French Montana. I am a pop star, not a doctor. I can't even believe that people are even settling for this shit and not being outraged.
I agree with you. I think he's a piece of shit.
Oh, I was screaming at my TV. I was so pissed.
I mean, do you remember the video of Fauci going to that apartment complex and knocking on the doors and saying Republicans will learn? Do you remember when Fauci went door to door and African Americans called him out and said, "We don't trust your bullshit. Get the fuck out of here, Fauci"?
You're having that conversation.
Yeah,
Why?
that's my fucking point.
No,
He's
Pepe, I'm agreeing with
somebody,
you.
Like, everybody likes to overlook the fact that Trump was saying, like, we're going to get the best vaccine, the fastest vaccine, all of this bullshit. And Trump was touting this shit. And it's just like, all of a sudden, we're going to fucking ignore it. Okay, we know what the Democrats did to try to destroy everything, you know, when it came to...
Trump wasn't forcing it on us.
Let's be clear, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong.
Trump's not a scientist either. I mean, these were advisors to him.
Trump is overweight. I definitely wouldn't take health advice. But Joe, can you not agree that the only reason why Joe Biden and Fauci were buddy-buddy was because by then, Fauci was already at odds with Trump. That was not a kinship that was in the making organically.
Fauci lied to Trump. If I was like the president, which I'm not, and a guy comes and tells me, look, we stand to lose 1 to 3% of the population. Just to put that in comparison, that's anywhere from 3 to 10 million people dead while I'm in office. He put the fear into Trump. I've admitted Trump got duped. He was being lied to. We can't dismiss that he had faulty information. And at the same time, it's now come out that the CIA and the FBI were masking what information to give him in his presidential daily briefings. It's not like he had information, or if he had efficient information that.
It's not the whole vaccine regarding the COVID thing is a whole distraction. The thing is that you want to rewrite the code, the genes of people because of many other goals. Because with CRISPR-Cas9 technology and all that kind of gene editing techniques, you can do a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot. And if you take into consideration that 2020 was actually the year where you had the bio-digital convergence, it raises a lot of questions. But look, I've investigated this extremely extensively, and I've read Lockheed patents, a lot of stuff, and it had nothing to do with the COVID.
Well, I just wanted to say this, Rick. Okay, I'm tired of y'all saying that and giving us nothing to work with. Y'all keep saying that. Hold on, Rick. Let me finish my point. And so you could better communicate with the rest of the public that wants to know what we can make sense of this. You keep saying that this is a distraction. A distraction for what? Because regardless of whether it's a distraction or not, these people then kept us away from our families. These people then stuck needles in our arms, and these people then shut down our businesses. So whether it's a distraction or not, figure out it's a distraction from
while we pressing these niggas and holding them accountable. So, I mean, at the end of the day, saying that it's a distraction, I'm looking at you like you saying that is slowing us down from pressing these motherfuckers that have put a foot up our ass over the last how many years over a fucking vaccine. So that may be very well and truthful, okay? But coming back to reality and what we have in front of us now, we want to hold.
Hello, and don't forget that the vaccine is also a mass sterilization cocktail. Borla is a.
So that's what we need to stay focused on, holding this motherfucker accountable. Y'all are all over the place. You need to put one foot up the ass at a time. Right now, we got Fauci in the hot seat. So what are we gonna do with him?
1 foot up the ass at a time.
Reparations. Okay, they didn't shut down people's businesses. You know how much money I had to pay for a haircut? I want my money back. Okay, so if y'all are okay paying $250 for a fade, okay, then that's on you. But I'm not going out like that. I work hard for my money.
Just shave your head, Dr. Adams.
So, work this shit. The discussion is very long. It involves gene editing techniques and CRISPR-Cas9 and cut and paste pieces of DNA so you can render the human body, the nerve, the whole the central and peripheral nervous system sensitive to electromagnetic waves and light waves with different wavelengths and different frequencies. This is not a joke. This is many of the patents are owned by Lockheed Martin, and I think everybody knows here what Lockheed Martin is, and it's from I can explain it to you, but it is very difficult. You know, it's a very detailed thing. There are two techniques. One is called optogenetics, and the other one is called magnetic.
So, Rick, are you saying that this isn't like the polio virus? I mean, the polio vaccine?
No, it's not. It's not. So, no, the whole...
Is it like the chickenpox vaccine, Rick?
Damn. If you want to bring a population to do something that they don't want to do, because
you have in mind a model of the future society where you have smart cities and people, and you have rolled out already in your mind a 6G communication system, where actually the internet is inside your cells. You must create a threat so that people would upon it, but they don't know what they're putting in their bodies, and they're basically uploading the infrastructure for you to play with when you will roll out the 6G. The 6G is like a sixth generation.
We got the 6G wavelengths coming at your vaccines.
So basically, everything's going to be connected.
It's a fully interconnected internet system.
The vaccine can be, whatever was injected with the RNA vaccines can be activated via a 6G.
6G, 5G in my turret.
Yes, because basically, with these two techniques, with the cut and paste technology of DNA, you can make the nervous system sensitive to the.
So you're saying it's not like the chickenpox vaccine?
This is the magnetic genetics. You can Google this. You can
is going to activate my third testicle.
And that's the reason why University of Tel Aviv, they referred to the 2020 as the year of the biodigital convergence, because they were merging biological systems, which is us, with digital systems, yeah? And that's the whole thing. I can continue if you want, it's very long, but that's basically what they did. They merged this. They're trying because a lot of people died because of this, a lot of myocarditis, pericarditis, because of course all these nanobots and all these technologies, they don't interact very well with certain people, with certain genes. Of course, we're all different. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to merge the man with the machine, and I think they will be successful. I think they will, because as you can see, and I'm not complaining. I'm absolutely respectful, but people talk about the distraction. They don't talk about the ultimate goal.
I got kicked again!
It's having everything connected, including your body. All right, I'm done.
Why am I getting kicked? Man machine. I am feeling like a man machine. I got my Fauci vaccine. I am a man machine.
What's up, Himothy? I just want to give Himothy a shout out. Like Himothy, you're an exceptional mod. You really are an exceptional mod, and I do enjoy being in the room when you speak. I think that you don't get enough credit. Everybody should have Himothy modded.
That's love, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I'm a man machine on 6G.
I try to do my part, man. I try to do my part. Even though I'm a nigger to Pepe, but
First of all, you've been a nigger. You've been.
That's okay. He's white trash to his own white counterparts. So, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Let's listen to what Cyber has to say.
Hello?
Cyber. Cyber.
Faggot. Anyways, hi.
Hi. How's your ugly ass doing?
I got kicked again.
I didn't be homophobic.
Damn, bitch, you look thrown back. Shoot, you wasn't lying, Matt. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's got the ugly stick, sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and fuck Pepe, too. Yep, fuck Pepe, too. And fuck Steve, too, yeah.
Baby. Been good.
so do you have anything to say, Cyber?
Oh no, I was asking, what are you guys talking about?
What's up with you drunk late night bitches? Like, I mean, y'all are, like, do y'all work? Like, do y'all strip? Like, do y'all put your kids to sleep? Like, what? Y'all ain't got a man up in the house. So, I mean, don't even lie and try to say that. But, I mean, you know, what is your psychology, young lady? Like, what is it about coming onto the internet and just getting plastered, shit-faced drunk when you got messed up, dry, color damaged hair to tell us some shit? Like, you mumbling, you're not even making sense. Like, what you got to say?
Fuck you. Anyways, I would like to tell you. I fucking land my plane. And you're
Girl, come up from under the bar stool. We can't hear you.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I actually have a man, faggot. Anyways, I feel like you have.
It will crawl up out the gutter. Your mic is low.
You need to go get checked by the doctors.
But we can't hear you from the bottom of the bottle, sis. You got to speak up.
Yeah, you can hear me in grind on parks. Maybe you suck dick in parks. You can never convince me that you're a man like other men. You're a faggot.
What is she talking about? I could have sworn. Did she say something about her street corner? Like, what is she talking about?
Somebody get the Narcan.
Right. Some of you crack. Well, no, hold on. Hold off on that. Hold off on that for a second. We might get some silence. One less crackheaded bitch in the middle of the night.
You need pickle eater.
She's accurate.
You fudge packer. Did he think it was a woman? Just go get your prostate checked.
Are you a woman?
Get yourself checked for AIDS.
Is this a woman?
Yeah, totally. I'm a woman. Why do you think my G-spot is in my vagina and your G-spot is in your ass?
Girl, your G-spot probably smell like bourbon. Your pussy probably smell like dirty Lamaritas, probably funky, cheap alcohol too. Like you don't sound like one of them high class bitches. You definitely don't.
Woman. Pickle eater. Shut up, you fudge packer. The start of AIDS itself, and you try to be like, oh, I'm a man.
She don't know. Her pussy trying to keep up with her liver.
Shut up, faggot. You go meet up in parks to go get your fucking fudge.
Damn.
You get me? You go on Grindr to be loved instead of.
Oh, this sound like a dirty Somalian bitch.
Shut up.
Let me find out. It's a dirty nappy-headed Somalian bitch. Let me find out. Let me find out.
I put one shoulder up and I put the other shoulder up and I dropped it because I don't.
She probably got blackheads on her back and long titties, just swatting mosquitoes. Like this is a long titty Somalian bitch. I'm telling you. Long titty Somalian bitch. I tell you, they moved to the UK, they moved to Canada. They get fucked by a bunch of other Africans, and then they come up on Clubhouse collecting a government check, just drunk in the middle of the night. I know, baby. You don't like that drunk Somalian bitch either. See, look, you got my dog barking at you. See, my dog is half white. She knows when to bark. She know when to bark. She hear a dirty, nappy-headed Somalian bitch. That's when she really start barking. She looking for your ankles.
You sure she's Somalian?
Wait, I'm gonna put on.
She's drunk and she's British, and she keeps going in and out of sounding a little bit Arab. This is definitely a drunk Somalian bitch.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they're so inbred and low IQ. Like you can always tell when it's a drunk Somalian bitch. Like they're half drooling, half mumbling. Like I'm telling you, she may have her long titty up in her mouth, thought it was a bib. I mean, it's the same thing with them.
Yeah, we have a lot of them, and then so you know what you're talking
Unfortunately, we do. Unfortunately, we do. Get big ass foreheads. You can see them from space.
God damn.
I'm telling you, we need to remake that movie Coneheads, and we need to do it a DEI version, and we need to just make it about the Somalians. And instead of making a coneheaded, we're just gonna make it big foreheaded.
That was such a good cult classic, the Coneheads. You remember?
Right, we should bring it back and bring inclusion and make it about them big-headed ass Somalians.
I want to run away. That was such a good movie. Have you guys seen? Who's seen Cone here?
It was like honestly, you talk about like.
She is.
Because I honestly love Scooby Doo. Did you remember being in Halloween?
Oh, shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Dad.
Your pussy is Halloween. Shit, got cobwebs, freaking green slime, and all bunch of trick-or-treat shit coming up out your snatch, you dirty ass bitch. Shut up.
Adams, you're very fast, very witty. I think he's probably one of the wittiest people on here. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Would we give Adams one of the, right?
So it was ready, huh?
I often say it's more worthwhile to pick the eye boogers out of my eyes.
What's wrong with this bitch?
I think she's possessed.
She ain't possessed. Tell her to pay her car note.
Everybody acts like, and I might be removed from this.
Bitch, you coming up in here some possessed? Go pay your bills, bitch. Go pay your car note. They're gonna take your shit. Coming up in here possessed and shit. The fuck? Titty dumb smelly bitch.
Anything good happened today, Adams? Any good?
Yeah, this bitch went on mute for a minute. That was the highlight of my night. This dumb knuckle dragging, wide jaw having ass bitch. The fuck? Bitch, how do you feel like your titties, like they're shaped like Snoopy's snout?
That'll be nerve.
How's that make you feel?
Shut up.
How's that make you feel? Your refugee titties are shaped like Snoopy's snout.
Clown house. Like Patrick.
Okay, well you got some clown Snoopy titties. Worry about your clown Snoopy titties, bitch. Probably have big old wide baloney-sized areolas. Big old National Geographic looking areolas.
I am.
Just a vessel in the static. It was just a little fraction. Just a vessel, a little fraction. Just a vessel in the static. It was just a little fraction. drifting into black. Innocent sparks ignite the dark.